Konnichiwa. Watashi no namae wa Dr. Alex Rosen desu. Watashi wa Shonikai desu. Doitsu karakimashita. Thank you very much for inviting me to address you today as we remember the beginning of the nuclear catastrophe of Fukushima 6 years ago. A nuclear catastrophe that the government of Japan and the nuclear industry want to make us believe has been overcome. Yet we see that it is in fact an ongoing catastrophe, and that all of the people in Fukushima Prefecture and all of Japan, in fact, are still living with the consequences of this catastrophe. We have more than 100,000 people living as nuclear refugees scattered across the country because they cannot return to their irradiated homes. We have levels of radiation that are being measured in the nuclear reactors that are so unbelievably high that a human being would be killed within minutes. And we have the numbers published just in February by the Fukushima Medical University, which already 6 years after the beginning of the nuclear catastrophe show a sharp rise in the incidence of thyroid cancer, one of the earliest signs of radiation consequences in a population affected by a nuclear catastrophe. 184 children have been diagnosed with thyroid cancer. 145 of them have been operated, their thyroids removed. 38 children are still awaiting operation. This is an incidence of 8.1 per 100,000 children in the last 2 years. The normal incidence of pediatric thyroid cancer in Japan is 0.3 per 100,000. That's a 27-fold increase, and we are expecting a much higher increase in the years to come. The nuclear industry wants to make us believe that this is due to a screening effect, yet at the same time we are seeing new cases of cancer that are found in the children screened today that were not found in the same children screened 2 years ago. Fukushima Medical University, which is performing these screening exams, can no longer be counted as a neutral scientific body, as they are receiving money from the International Atomic Energy Agency, an organization founded specifically to promote civil nuclear energy, and members of Fukushima Medical University, like Professor Midorikawa, are traveling to schools in Fukushima Prefecture, advising children that if they do not want to have an unreasonable cancer diagnosis, they can just decline testing. These attempts to downscale the perceived effects and consequences of the nuclear catastrophe play straight into the hands of the pro-nuclear government and the nuclear village in Japan. At the same time, there's a growing problem of radioactive waste as contaminated soil keeps building up in Fukushima Prefecture and is in fact posing a big problem to all of Japan because no one really has a plan of how to dispose of all of this radioactive waste. Experiments like that in the community of Minamisoma, by raising the acceptable legal limit in public construction soil from 3,000 to 8,000 becquerel per kilo, in order to use this radioactive debris for public construction projects like roads or dikes, is only causing more harm to the local populations, a giant risk to future generations, and a risk for the environment. The former legal limit for public construction soil of 100 becquerel per kilogram should be returned to immediately. Luckily, as always, where there is darkness, there is light. And the nuclear catastrophe in Fukushima has seen a surge of civil society engaging against nuclear energy and for a cleaner, safer, and healthier future. And we have seen local initiatives like the Fukushima Collaborative Clinic in Fukushima City or the Mother's Radiation Lab Fukushima in Iwaki, which we both want to promote. Courageous Japanese doctors and scientists are researching the extent of the nuclear catastrophe of Fukushima. For example, at the Institute of Environmental Medicine at Gifu, where they're looking at strontium concentrations in milk teeth of Japanese children, another project that we strongly support as IPPNW Germany. Thank you very much for allowing me some time to address you today, and I wish you all the best for your continuing conference. Sayonara.